Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Gamer. My name is Tony and this is my impressions for Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PlayStation 4. It's my impressions because I haven't completed the game yet. I put a lot of hours in, but there are a lot of things to do. So all I can do for the moment is give you my impressions. I may update it once I get to the review stage, but I can't imagine too much is going to change between, unless it's something goes amazingly, horribly wrong or great. I don't know. But here we are. This is my impressions of this game that I've been waiting for years. I was so hyped for this game. I can't even begin to tell you. I even cancelled my pre-order from Amazon and paid £10 more to be able to download it on the PlayStation 4 early because I was working away and was worried it wouldn't come. That's how excited I was for this game. And I never pre-order a game. Never, ever. So I think that starts to tell you what I was maybe looking forward to on this game. So, does it live up to the hype? Was it what I expected? Etc, etc. You'll find out at the end of the video. For now, let's start having a look at this game. So, basically, it is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1. So, this is before all that happened. So, the characters in here, there's crossovers, there's people here. There's people here, you're like, you're not in that one, so maybe you'll die. There's stuff like that, so you kind of know, and it's how, you know, all that started, how the world built before that. And it's an interesting take to actually go back beforehand. Not something games normally do, so yeah, I was quite hyped for this one. And also when you were starting to read some of the things they were doing, the level of detail they were looking at, the graphics, the videos, and I was like, this game could be special. And looking at all the stats and who's been playing it and what people are saying, is it probably one, I would say it's probably the biggest game in years, this game. Like, so many people are talking about it, advertising, it's just incredible. And we're going to start off by looking at one of the main things about this game. We're going to talk about the graphics. So yeah, the graphics, unbelievable. The level of detail, the times I am sitting there just going, wow. Like, you'll be sitting on like a ridge somewhere and there'll just be the open vista of the landscape in front of you with the mountains in the background. It's not just the close stuff, the far away stuff and the middle ground looks really impressive. You know you can look at something and go, I'm gonna go there. And you can go there. Like, there's nothing stopping you. Well, sometimes your horse might fall down a cliff, as I've found out several times. There might be a big river in the way, but generally you can get there, and for me, that is just, you know, it's amazing. The level of detail on here, the graphics. I know I'm only playing on the standard PlayStation, but I've seen some graphics from the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and it just looks even better. I can't wait for this to come out on the PC, so I can start playing it properly with some mods and graphics, and I think on the PC it'll just be absolutely ultimate. The lighting effects are incredible, as you can see here, the way the moon shines through the trees, the shadows, the way, like, you'll even see the sun glimpsing off people's, like, faces and noses, and it's just a level of detail with graphics I've not seen. Like, when you brush past a tree, it actually realistically moves, and when you go through water, when you carry a dead animal, you'll get blood on your top, same as you carry a bloke. You know, and your face will get mucky, your facial hair will grow, the animals will run around and it looks realistic when they run past you. The grass will bend. You know, when you're in mud, you can see the imprints, or snow, you can see like the snow getting moved, and if you kill someone, like, they'll actually leave a divot in the ground where their body is. It's just an unreal level of detail, and the amount of times you'll sit there just amazed at that detail that they've put in. It's why they've made their workers work 100-hour weeks, which is completely separate matter. But yeah, I mean, even level of details like in the cold, apparently your balls on your horse will shrink. I mean, did anyone ask for that level of detail? I don't think so. But they've went the whole hog with this. So yes, graphically, I think possibly one of the best games I've ever seen on console. Probably pretty close up there with PC, I would say. And, you know, everything from the NPCs, like, NPCs look all different. They all move. They don't pop in. Like, you're not walking around and you'll see people appear in front of you. I've never seen anything like that. Like, in a town, people are just going about their daily business. They'll be sitting on the side, like, of a building, just sitting there chatting. They don't just appear, or you don't feel like they've just been put there because you're just about to go into that area. You feel like they're going to work or out of work, and it's just them little graphics that just really set it apart. The way your horse moves, like its tail will swing around, the reins will move as you go. You know, and it's just everyday graphics. The graphics are just brilliant in this. So yes, for a graphics, it gets almost top marks. There is a few things that I've noticed, like sometimes some of the textures do drop a little bit. The frame rate isn't the best on the normal PlayStation. Also, there is a lot of graphical bugs at times as well. Like, things have happened. I've seen, like, people move around where they shouldn't be, and things, the odd thing disappearing or whatever. You know, you hit something random, physics can go off sometimes. But apart from that, graphics, absolute top notch. So after discussing graphics, we'll move on to sound. The sound design is great, from everything from the music to the voice to the guns. The guns, sound amazing. Like, I can imagine if you had this on a subwoofer, like, the room would explode every time you shot. Like, they're so loud and so boomy, and they make it really satisfying to shoot. Like, you just want to shoot, and it just sounds great. The voice acting is brilliant all the way through. The main character, the guy who does that voicing, is just does it really well, like with his tones, and you know, certain situations ranging from like emotional to just general chat to shouting to anger, and he does them all really well, and so does everyone else in the gang, like Dutch as well, who's one of the main characters. That is done really well. Even NPCs, like, you'll just be walking and there's a random conversation going on between you and them, and that sounds really good as well. There's something like 500,000 lines of dialogue. That's just insane. Again, level of detail. And the voice acting is great all the way through. I've not noticed any that I've not liked. You know, even down to, you know, the cutscenes, the way they sync the lips and all that is just fantastic. The music, again, very, very, very good. There's nothing you can really pull there. It really brings the atmosphere, and it doesn't sound Wild Westy at times. Like, sometimes it almost sounds like a bit more modern, but with a Wild West sort of touch to it, and I like that. And it really sets the mood, you know, when you go into a new area, or you're just about to get into a firefight, sometimes that music changes. And also you've got, like, the atmospheric sounds, like the birds, the animals. They, again, great. You can't fault it. Rainstorms and thunder, they can even hear it. Like, you'll just be like, oh, it's suddenly got a bit dark in here. And you'll kind of see the rain clouds coming, and you can hear it in the distance coming towards you. And if there's a train rumbling along the tracks, you can almost feel the train rumbling. So, yeah, I mean, sound, just fantastic. Sometimes when you're talking, the only thing you can get a little bit annoying, like you'll try to be talking to someone and you walk a little bit away from them, and like the voices go a little bit off, like it sounds like they're away a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe until you come across it. But again, because Rockstar went so far out on this game with the level of detail, this is where the little nitty-pick things come in. You're just like, that could have been a bit better, that could have been a bit better, and we're going to cover that more in the gameplay, which is what's coming up now. So, the gameplay and story, what's that like? The story basically revolves around the gang. So you've got a gang in the Wild West. Has changed a little bit. It's become more civilized. Cowboys are a bit more outlawed. They're under control. You've got bounty hunters hunting them down. And you've got your gang, and you're trying to survive and make a quick buck, I think, is the best way to go through the story. The story's very well done. You know, there's a lot of story missions to do. There's also lots of side quests to do to keep you occupied, I think is the best way to say it. The story, it's not let me down yet. You know, I'm really intrigued in it, and I really want to see where it goes. And you can see how it's leading to, you know, the first Red Dead Redemption. The gameplay, I think we'll split it down into... We'll start with gunplay. Gunplay is very satisfying. As I said, the sounds really make it. The shooting mechanics, you know, they've got down to a T from Grand Theft Auto 5 Red. You know, it's all there. And you don't mind getting into a firefight. And again, the little level of details here, like say you shoot someone in the back of the head, the bullet hole will be in the hat, you know? That is great. When you've shot someone, you can then loot them or you can hide the body, because if you're playing and you shoot someone or kidnap someone, if someone sees it, they will report you to the sheriff and then you get a wanted or bounty on your head. You can pay it off at the post office, so you can claim that back, which is good. It might be like, say, you might assault someone, it might be $50. I've got, in one town, I accidentally pressed triangle and jumped at someone. I don't know why. My character's never done that before. And I had $50 wanted level. I was like, really? Like, I didn't even mean to do that. I just wanted to get on my horse, and somehow he magically took this guy down. So, yes, gunplay all is really, really good. I really enjoy the gunplay. You got Deadeye when you press the buttons in, and it goes slow-mo, and you can take out multiple people at once. The only bit of gunplay I didn't like is on the horse. I find it a little bit difficult. I don't know if it's just me or whatever, or it wasn't explained well, but yeah, I don't really enjoy gunplay on the horse. And there is hunting in the game as well. When you talk about gunplay, and you've got your bow and arrow, and you hunt animals, and you've got to stalk them and then chase them and use certain arrows. I'm going to come back to that in a little bit, but yes, there's also like arrows. There's plenty of guns on here as well. You can buy them, you can upgrade them, you can add different stocks, different scopes, that sort of thing. There's plenty there. One bit of the gameplay I don't like is the survivor meters. So you might see them in the bottom left hand corner now above the map. So you have stamina, hunger, and deadeye, and each of these has a core. So you've got to like eat stuff and take stuff to build your core up, which then regains your stuff. So if you want stamina, if you use all your stamina core, you've then got to find something to increase your stamina core back to normal, so then you can get your stamina back. Or you can take things to have stamina that don't increase your core, but just the stamina. I'm not sure that was needed as such. I know the route they're going down, but you just end up eating it. It dejects a little bit away from the fun for me a lot of the times. Your horse also has stamina and stats as well. So does your camp. So your camp will get hungry. They need money. So you've got to look after your camp. You've got to go hunting to feed them, or you can give them like canned goods. They'll want money. So when you do something, you're supposed to contribute money back. And if there's like a heist, you'll share that money between yourselves, whoever's on the heist and the camp. Not that fussed about the camp, to be fair. I've pretty much been on my own. I'm a lone cowboy. But you can look after the camp. You can upgrade things and buy things to like unlock fast travel or better medicines or food and stuff like that. And that's all done in the ledger. At night they'll have parties sometimes when you go back to camp. And it's always your home away from home. Like you'll be like, yeah, I'm going to head back to camp for a bit and see what's going on and, have a little bit of a chat to the people and kind of just play around. So, yeah, the survival thing's one thing I didn't like. Getting around the map is mainly done on horseback. And there is a lot of horse riding in here. Oh, my God. Like, nothing is close by. And it's, again, one of the gripes. I know they've went for realism. But sometimes you'll say a random encounter or head to them, and it can take you 10-15 minutes of just sticking it in cinematic mode, which is what I do because it kind of has an auto horse and it kind of just goes around the map, and you're just driving. I wish, you're just riding for 10-15 minutes. Yes, it looks beautiful. Yes, there's random stuff. I'm not knocking that, but again, hitting that level of realism. Sometimes I'm playing a game. I want to game. I don't want it to be like I was riding towards a thing because it was taking a view like a bounty hunter, and I found a random bloke who fell off his horse and he said, look, help me. So I was like, okay, I'll help you. To take him was like a detour of 10 minutes south to go and drop him off, to then go 10-15 minutes back up north. And it's just a little bit boring at times. Like, I know people love that immersion side of things, but it's little things like that and that level of detail. Like, to call your horse has to be within a certain range. If you're outside that range, the horse won't come. Again, realistic. Gameplay-wise, meh. When you're doing, like, hunting things, the animals have different pelts, and some are good, so you gotta, like, study them, and then use the right thing. Again, I don't want that. It takes long enough. And this game is 80, 90 hours long, or whatever they say. I am pretty sure 60 hours of that is just time film. It's just riding from location to location, to cutscenes, to... If you just crammed it all together, I know it'd take away a lot, and I'm not saying they should have, but sometimes I wish the markers and the missions were just a little bit closer together, and there was just a little bit less horse riding. And maybe fast travel, I think, should be meant a little bit more, as in, your choice. If I want to fast travel on the map, give me just the ability to go wherever I want on the map at any time. Maybe not straight away, but once I've unlocked it. I'm talking about small gripes, like little things like when you skin an animal, like you hunt and he encourages you to hunt, but it has to go through the full skinning animation every single time. And then you've got to slowly carry it back to your horse. Put it on your horse, which is another animation. Then take it off your horse once you've slowly and it's that level of detail sometimes that just loses the fact it's a game. I don't want to use Assassin's Creed as a benchmark, but Assassin's Creed, you know, it didn't matter where you were, your horse would appear. And sometimes when you're in a firefight, like, you want that. Like, you just want to go, right, I need to go, I just want to go, I just want to get my horse. You don't want to go, where's my horse? Oh, God, it's out of whistling range. Right, I've got to walk 20 minutes to go and find it. And when you hunt, like, hunting is not the most fun activity in the world. Just let me shoot the animal in the face, and then I get the resources from it. Like, I don't want to stalk it and hunt it, and I know some people do, but for me, it's just a level of detail that is great, but it dejects a little bit from the fun of the game. And sometimes when I've only got an hour to play, I can achieve very little because it takes half an hour to get there or whatever. However, I mean, they're just small gripes. It doesn't deject from the game in such a massive way that you're going to go, okay, I'm not going to play this. It just dejects a little bit, and you just kind of go, I could have spent my time doing something a little bit better here, or, you know, that 10-minute walk, or that 3-minute cuts, like 4 or 5 minutes to get that to there, to that to there, could have just been skipped, and I could have just been getting on with the actual game and the fun. So there's lots of random things to do in here, which is good. You know, you'll be walking along, and you'll find, you know, people screaming or shouting. There's loads of random events. Like, I saw one guy saying he broke out of a prison van, and I thought, I'm going to hog-tied him, and I got reported for kidnap. I was going to take him back to the sheriff's station. So there's little things like that. There's camps to take out. The missions are all well structured. You know, they'll usually take over a couple of parts, and you have to do little things for strangers, like go and interview people or do bounties and collect money back. And there's a lot to do outside of just the mission, which again adds to the overall game time. The game world, very, very you know, there's lots to do. It's varied. There's towns. There's massive cities. There's trains to rob. There's stagecoaches to rob. The world's pretty much your own. And that's it. It's a lot more of a simulator than anything else Rockstar have kind of done. I feel like it's really went to that simulating route, if you know what I mean. Final thing I want to talk about is customization of characters' guns. You know, I did mention it before, but you can change your beard length, your hair, your clothes, like the summer clothes, there's winter clothes. You can clean your weapons, and they all have effects and stuff like that. The only thing is, it's like cleaning weapons again, like, doesn't seem to add too much, and it's a level of detail that possibly wasn't needed because it doesn't really have that much bearing. But, you know, there is a good level of customization on here. You can customize your horse to give it like a plaited tail or a different mane or a different saddle. You can put things on your guns. So there's a lot of customization options here to keep the majority of people happy. There's like shops to sell stuff in, or you can donate to your gang. You can go and buy food. And when you go into the shop, it's not just a case of it's all there. You got to look around the shelves, and on the shelves there's the stuff you need. And you can go like to hotels to have a bath, or to sleep, or to get a special bath. And I'm sure you can work out what that means. Or go to saloon. And when you go into the saloon, all the music will just stop if you got a bad rep, because there is rep on this game as well. So, you know, if you do lots of bad deeds, your rep will go down and people won't give you discounts and treat you differently. If you're good, they'll give you discounts and treat you better. So there's that rep system. Apart from typical Rockstar, some missions force you to be a bad person, and then your rep goes down. It's like, oh, I've just spent all that time building that rep up. Will you stop it? And you know, it's that sort of thing. So yeah, in summing up, is it better than Grand Theft Auto 5? I know very different games, but for me, the last game I was this excited for was Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not for me. It's not that exciting. It's a fantastic, wonderful, and varied game. But for me, I just think they've went a little bit too far in the detail, and at times I just get bored and turn it off again, because I'm just like, I can't bother to ride another 15 minutes to get back to my location. It's a completely must-buy game. Completely and utterly. Like, if you like anything like this, you're going to love it. If you love Rockstar, you're going to love it. Just as an action, fun game, get out there and get it. You've got to dedicate that time to it. It will take a long time. There is a couple of annoyances in there, but only because they've went for this most amazing game. And you're going to find these little bit of annoyances because you almost expect it to be perfect, and it's not quite perfect. However, saying that, I will now be going after this video to go back and play it. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. As I said, this is just impressions, not a review. It's an excellent game.